Okay, so I am now going to show you how to, let's say you have a stimulation that you want to do with the DMD mirror, and let's say you want to do that stim at one location, then move to another location, do that stim, then move to another location and do that stim. Is there a way to do that while programming the stims and the simultaneous acquisition stuff as before? And so to demo this, what I have here is just some pond sample here in which we've got some bright field illumination so you can see stuff. And then within this pond sample, there are autofluorescent cyanobacteria in here, such that if I use the ND stimulation in the Psi5, like kind of 640 setting or whatever, you can see that I can get some red fluorescence out of these cells. So let's say that I have three XY positions that I'm interested in performing a stim. And so maybe I want to image for 1 second, do the stim for 2 seconds, and then image again for a few seconds. And so Nitesh's experiment is kind of what I was thinking about this, where you might want to go to some place, stimulate the release of the calcium through the photocaged chelator, watch what happens to the network, but then move to a different place so that you can kind of automate certain types of experiments you might want to do. So how do we do that? So there's a few ways you can try to do it, but the easiest way I found that you can do this is through, if you go under applications, the standard ND acquisition that people have been using is this, and then there's a few different either time sequencing or multi-point sequencing variations on the ND acquisition you can use, and the one that works really nice I found was define run ND multi-point set acquisition. So when you select that, it brings up this window here where you can set up basically a number of different XY positions, and then you can set up what you want to do for each one of those XY positions. So maybe you want to do a standard ND acquisition. I actually don't know why you would do that compared to just using the ND acquisition, but it's here. But what's also very useful is it has stimulation protocols that you can run here, either sequential stimulation or simultaneous stimulation. And so, for example, Nitesh learned how to use the simultaneous stimulation setting. So let's say we had a ROI like this cell here, and let's say we wanted to image it for 5 seconds, and within that 5-second window we wanted to wait 2 seconds, then stimulate this ROI that's been assigned to the 561 DMD, and then do that stimulation for 1 second, and then complete our imaging. So this is something Nitesh worked out how to do for his experiments, and so if you do this, this will stimulate like this for a single XY position, but in some cases you might have multiple cells that you want to go visit, do the stimulation protocol on, and record data from them. So if you've set up your multi-point acquisition, if you set up your stimulation protocol here and hit OK, and you set up your XY positions here, like you see there, if I hit test for a second, it'll just kind of demo what we're trying to do. So it waits 1 second, it does a stim at that position, and that's basically the test of how the stimulation will work. And so now, if I go back and I hit play, if I have my 3 XY positions, it should run this stimulation protocol here. And so let's see if that happens when I hit run. Run now. So we're visiting that place, stim. Then we go visit another location over here, stim. And finally, we visit another location over here and stim. And so the end product of that is 3 separate stimulation videos automatically set up. So instead of having to execute the experiments at, say, or manually set up all your positions, you could set up as many XY positions as you want and run the stimulation protocol. And so that is a simple way in which you can loop over XY positions while doing a simultaneous stim and acquisition. So I hope that helps you guys out. Talk to you later.